morning to you all. If you would please put your palms together for a meditation reading. Listen. Listen to the voice of the Dharma. Listen to the birds singing in the morning, the wind sighing in the boughs overhead, and the roar of the waves on the beach. Listen to the rain on the roof and the snow falling in the fields. The Dharma speaks to us through the sounds of the world forcefully and eloquently and beautifully. It speaks of the unending change around us, the immutable truth of interdependence, and the peace in nature. Do we have the ears to hear and listen? Excerpt from the poem Listen, from the Heart of the Buddha Dharma by Reverend Kenryu T. Tsuji. If you would please join me in Konsho. Amitabha. Namu Amitabha. Namu Amitabha. Namandas, Namandas. Old cliche, stop and smell the roses. And you know, when we stop and really listen to the meaning of that, doesn't really mean to stop and smell every rose you see, but to listen and hear the Dharma around us. And it comes to bring to mind the sounds at the temple. When we start a service, we hear the big Konsho outside. And it goes 7, and then it goes up, and then comes down. There's 5 afterwards. And then it goes up, and it goes down. And then there's 3 after that. Medium, soft, loud. When I'm not here, and I'm doing the service at the cemetery or someone's home, I carry a little bell, which means the same thing. And it's a little handheld bell. And it's to bring the people's focus to the service. And it sounds like, and it resonates the echo. And people automatically respond. And there's the sound of our sticks when we're chanting Setaku. And after each line, we hear. And it can change. The tone of the sticks can change depending on how tight we hold it and where we hold it. But it doesn't make any difference because it still guides us back to the words of the Buddha. So sound is all around us. When we wake up in the morning, we sit and we listen to the birds outside. Or maybe it's just the cars going by the house. It's still the sound of the Dharma. Last night I was sitting on the front porch and I can hear the cars on the freeway. And you can tell those who are speeding by. Or you can tell one car has a heavier motor than the other one. You can hear as one revs its engine, passes the other cars. So we open our ears. But when do we open our ears to the Dharma? When do we actually listen to the Dharma and put those actions of those words into our actions to society and to the world? It's a difficult thing to really sit or even stand or even to hear others. Our mind drifts and we don't listen to anyone. We don't hear them. We sit there and we stand there and we listen, or we look like we're listening. But are we really? Or is our mind all over the place? It's the same thing as when we say Nembutsu. Nembutsu is our form of meditation. Namu Amitabha should be the only thing we hear from ourselves. But do we have the ears to hear our Nembutsu. It's very difficult to sit there and concentrate on our breathing, hearing our breathing in, out. Namu Amida Butsu. Is it difficult to hear that? And once we do hear it, do we understand it? Where does our mind lead us to? When we're in the meditative state of Namu Amida Butsu. So that's why we hit Setaku, is to bring us back. Bring us back to the present moment. You know, sometimes when I'm chanting up here, I forget where I am. I just start zoning out. Words come automatic to me, and I zone out. But it's the hitting of the sticks that brings me back. There are a couple of times where I've forgotten to hit the sticks, and I keep chanting, and I go, wait a minute, what happened here? It's because I was somewhere else. I was not listening. Listening is very difficult for us. And I ask, when are we going to be ready to truly listen to the words of the Buddha? That's a question you have to answer for yourself. Yet we still have Namu Amida Butsu, the Nembutsu, to lead us back to the present moment, so that we can hear, truly hear, and listen to the teachings and to others. We have to learn to listen and hear others as well. It's a difficult thing to do because our minds are elsewhere. They maybe is thinking about having other thoughts of breakfast, coffee, or going out with a friend, or doing something, or maybe it's an upcoming vacation. But it's always there. Nembutsu is always there. It's when we take that little bit of time and listen and hear. I'm not a golfer. So when people are out on the green, I believe it's called the green, what do they think about? Do they think about how that shot is going to go towards the hole? Or is their mind just clear? And they think of nothing. Or even sitting at a slot machine in Vegas. I know the focus is on hit that number or hit that row or whatever they do. And I've even known people to say Namu Amida Butsu while sitting there. And it's like, nah, that's not how it works. So when do we use Nembutsu? Golfing? Because we want that hole-in-one. Or hitting it big in Vegas? Or is it just sitting in the temple to relax us, to make us breathe, to listen to our breathing, and to really hear what our Namu Amida Butsu is? Our first step is to understand. Our first step is to learn to listen. It's like being in school again, learning to listen and truly hear. Without judgment, without opinion, but just to hear. And once we absorb that thought or that idea, if it does not fit our thought pattern, push it back into your mind. Maybe you can use it later. But we first have to learn to hear and listen. Open our ears, open our hearts, open our minds to what is around us. And it is Namo Amida Butsu. To settle ourselves, to help open our hearts to the teachings of the Buddha. So if you would please, join your palms together in Konsho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.